Hello, everyone. Welcome to day 8 of the Daily Creative Challenge XD. Hello, everyone in the chat. We've got Sam, Gareth, and Chris. Hello, everyone. I'm Alize. I'm your host, and I'm an Adobe XD Enterprise instructor, and I make design education through social media, through events, and my whole goal is to make design education a good time. So let's get cozy, let's get into things, let's see what we're designing today. Let me show you my screen right here. We've got the Daily Creative Challenge landing page. The big blue button is where you're able to enroll, and this is going from November 8th through December 10th. So even though it seems in a couple days it's ending, don't worry, it's not. We've got 2 more weeks. So we're just going to be repeating basically the previous 2 weeks. So you have actually 4 weeks total to complete these 9 challenges. So plenty of time. Maybe you even want to go back to your previous design because you only had a day and you want to improve upon it. Take some of the feedback that you've gotten. So that's a really great opportunity. We're always in design is the process of constantly iterating and improving our design. So that's also a fun practice as well. So every day you're receiving a challenge. Here we're going to be doing wearable technology. We're going to make some screens for a futuristic health app. We're doing a smartwatch with some voice commands today. And right here where it says get started, you'll be able to download the Adobe XD design file that I'm showing and sharing with you guys today. And then also you're able to chat with the community, join the Discord channel in order to share your designs, get feedback from mentors and other people in the community, and as well as look at other people's designs. You can learn a lot from looking at other people and from learning like, hey, that's something I really liked, or I would have done that differently. It's a great learning opportunity, and it's also just cool to see other people's designs. All right, so let's look at your designs that you've uploaded already into Behance, some of your fellow people in the community, what they've uploaded. Yesterday, we worked on dark mode. We went dark with our UI style. Let's look at Lauren's because I'm already excited with the title. It was a dark mode style, but it was a social media app, and you have free reign to create whatever social media app you want to see. So I love that Lauren took that and was like, yes, let me talk about superheroes. Let's have a social media for superheroes. So cool. So we've got we got Iron Man. I want to see Deadpool's story for sure. Do you guys have a favorite Marvel character, by the way? Definitely mine is Deadpool. I do love Baby Groot too. Baby Groot. Oh, so great. What a fantastic project. Thank you so much for sharing it and making my day, actually. I love seeing that. Here we have another one from Yu Yang. Oh, ice cream. Is this an ice cream? Oh, it's all about dessert and ice cream here. Oh no, that chocolate. Don't do that to me. I'm gonna get off the stream and go buy a fudge sundae now. Love that. Great job. Let's take another look at some more dark mode. One more, let's do it. How about this one here? Oh, I love the fun colors and how they pop onto that dark design. Oh, super cool. I like this image in the background as well. Great job. This is like social media for little characters. All right. So let's get into XD. This is the design file that you guys have received or can download if you'd like. And this is like your starter file. This is what I've designed to kind of get you have some understanding of what I would create, so you can create your own version of this. And we're doing those just a couple critical screens for a smartwatch. And I'm doing specifically a health app. Feel free to, have creative reign. Don't feel like if you want to do a totally different type of smartwatch app, feel free to. Really, the point is to get comfortable using voice commands. And let's talk a little bit about that because I've been covering 2022 UI trends. Okay, so not gonna stop. It's not gonna. It's hard for me to talk today, guys. It's probably because I've been up from 5 in the morning. Beep, beep, apple, ooh. I'm gonna just start to beep and bop like R2D2. So 2022 trend is voice user interfaces. And if you guys don't know what that is yet, that's okay. Voice user interfaces allow the user to interact with a system through speech or voice commands. It's hands-free, it's an eye-free way to get users to interact with your product while focusing on attention elsewhere. So this is such a great example of where you can start to use voice commands. Of course, there's like devices like Alexa, right? Where you can say, hey Alexa, what's the weather like? But we can also think about how you can use it with wearable technology. Because the interface is so small, there's not all that much you can do. You can't go really deep like you can on a website or on your phone device. So it's really great to utilize the power of voice commands with your smartwatch design. Let's talk about 3 best practices. Number 1, get to the point. Like we said, we don't have that much real estate on our phone, on our watch. So we want to narrow it down to 1 or 2 primary actions that you can do on that screen. What are just a couple of things, 1 or 2 things that user can do on that screen? Okay. Instead of having a ton of different options in that little screen, we just got a couple here. Best practice number 2, we want to use large tap targets. Very similar to the previous, except we want to make sure that because it's such a small interface, if someone does want to tap on a button, it's not like, oh, I need a tiny little finger in order to do so, right? And best practice number 3, text should be legible at a glance. If our users need to, be glancing at our watches, maybe they want to like read a text, read a message, read what something says. It's so easy to read. Okay? We're using those nice large fonts here. Just like that big old 72. All right, let's look at my design. By the way, this is going to be so small because it is a tiny interface, but you can see. And so right in the center here, this is futuristic for me. Why I consider it futuristic is because not only can you see your burned calories, but you're also able to see your consumed calories. And in my futuristic watch idea, in this idea for myself, you don't have to actually ever input your calories. In the future, the system already knows. You eat an apple, it's like that was 40 calories. You eat that Snickers bar, it's like that was 400 calories. So you don't actually ever have to input that. So let's see how it works here. I am going to hit the space bar to do the voice command. So I'm going to put, hey Sono, view burned calories. Hey Sono, view burned calories. What's going on here? Let's try it again. Hey Sono, view burned calories. Oh, there we go. Okay, here we go. So now I want to tell I can see all the burned calories for the day, but I want to see my consumed calories. So I'm going to say, hey Sono, view consumed calories. Sometimes it doesn't work when I'm like streaming the voice commands with it. So we're going to try just a couple times. Hey Sono, view consumed calories. Okay, you know what? Sorry guys, but you guys will get the idea when you do it yourself. Sometimes when I'm streaming, the voice doesn't want to work as well, but I'm sure it's going to work fine for you. We'll practice some more a little bit later. But basically I have these 4 screens. It was hard for you to see in that previous screen anyway. We have this screen with kind of just all the kind of high level things that the user can do, burned calories and the calories that are left. And then I have this ability to call my nutritionist as well. So let's break it down. Let's create this UI. I'm using a darker background color, something that if you guys were with me yesterday for dark mode, something we talked about, one of the benefits for dark mode is that it saves battery life. It's not as bright. So that's why I'm deciding to use dark mode as well for the watch design, because batteries on on your watch don't have all that much life. So I'm going to create a little rectangle here. R for rectangle, for those of you who are new. If you're new, welcome. Let us know in the chat if you are new to the Daily Creative Challenge. I am placing in like a little bit lighter of a shade here so that you can tell that it's a button. And I'm going to just copy and paste this text. I've been doing, I don't want you guys to have to watch me type in all the text, but if you guys want to know how to do text, you can put click T on your keyboard or on the left hand side in your toolbar, third one down, T for text, in order to place some text down. Then from there, I am going to select these layers and I'm going to turn on repeat grid over on the right. And this is something we've been practicing now for a couple of days in some of the exercises. So I'm just repeating the same thing over and over. And I am going to also just add in some of these icons. If you need help with icons, where I get mine typically within plugins is it's called icons for design. That's where I'm getting and grabbing a lot of my icons. Don't ever expect that you need to actually create all your own icons from scratch. That's not expected for a UI designer. If that's something in your toolbox, great, but that's not required. So like I mentioned earlier, we got some nice big text. There's just kind of one major action you can do on here, or you can scroll down to see a couple other options. The way that I'm indicating that you can scroll down is through these kind of little circles right here. Okay, so I can just say click E to make a circle on my keyboard, or select E there. I can remove that fill, I can make it white, and then I can show that this is the one that they're on, and there's more options within inside here. I'm just going to turn on repeat grid again to show that, change the spacing here. All right, so now you can see that there are 5 other options that you can kind of drag down on. If you're like feeling really comfortable with auto animate too, feel free to kind of create the auto animate gestures for this with drag. For those of you who are newer, this is perfect. This is all you need to do right here. All right, just have one major task that one major goal that the user is going to take on your screen. From my screen, I want the user to go deeper into like, well, how did I burn those calories? And so here I have the steps as well. And I'm going to create this little circle. This is kind of a fun thing. There's a couple steps in order to create this kind of graph. I'm going to make a circle. So E on my keyboard. Hey, Carolyn Bird, joining in for the second time. Welcome, welcome. Glad to have you here. And if you ever feel overwhelmed, feel free to watch the welcome stream that we have, and maybe someone can place that into the chat for you. And that one, I kind of go into some of the real basics of XD as well, if this is like, oh, too much. And so here I have my circle. And I've removed the fill inside. I just have a border, but this is where things get interesting. If I want to make it so that there's this gap here, I'm going to actually put a dash in my border, and I'm going to do a 200 dash in my border. Oh, look at that. So it's kind of like making these little holes within my circle. And depending on your dash size, you can do like 240, or you can, if you start messing around with it, you'll see kind of the different things you can do here, right? So I'm gonna do 200, but I don't like the sharp edges. I want it to have that nice circular feel. So I am actually gonna select that right over here on the right underneath border to make that nice circular shape. Now the thing that I'm using is, the color I'm using is a gradient. And in XD, borders don't like to have gradients applied to them. So we actually are gonna have to convert this border into, I'm gonna go over up here on the left-hand side where it says object. From there, I'm gonna go into path. So I need to turn this into a path, and I'm gonna turn it into an outline stroke. Now it's converted it from that border into an actual whole path here where I have a fill option, and now I can apply a gradient. This is only irrelevant if you like want to ever apply a gradient to your designs, but no worries if you don't. So now I got that set. Not too bad, right? Not too bad, not too hard. I'm gonna just copy it and paste it so that I'm just dragging it and rotating it over so that it is kind of completing that circle shape, so I can make this kind of transparent look there. So I'm going to turn that here, turn that down. And now you can see that there's 2 layers there, but it's like, oh, whoa, what happened? It's because I need to drag this layer, the one with the gradient on it, above the other one there. Okay, so this is where layers become really important. The higher up within your layers, the more it's going to go forward within your designs. Hi, Carolyn. Well, you know what? You're a super newbie, Carolyn, and I am so glad, because this is such a great place for people to start learning, getting into XD, and you have a whole month to play around with these designs and get feedback from mentors. So this is the place to be for you. All right, I'm just going to place in some of the text and copy and paste it there. And then I've got this, just a basic rectangle shape. To create a rectangle, I can hit R on my keyboard or go over on the left-hand side to the toolbar in order to create that rectangle. Then I've just placed some text on top. I'm going to select this group, and I'm also going to make it a repeat grid. This allows me to repeat that same group over and over again, but I'm also able to change the text if I want. So I can change like 10:48, I lost 200 calories. Around, 1:48 p.m., I burned 120 calories. Or maybe this is what I ate. Sorry. So this is what I ate. I had I had a big breakfast, and then I barely ate anything for lunch, it seems. So this is kind of how you can play around with repeat grid, have some fun with it. But the point here is that it's going to be large enough for the finger as well. So we have voice commands when we're doing these smartwatches today, but the user can also choose to click onto a certain element, right? So we just want to make sure that the touch point where the user is going to tap is large enough. It's not too tiny. Unicorn saying, iWatch is difficult because I've never experienced the OS. I have a similar problem because I actually have the Samsung smartwatch. I haven't used the iWatch. I've used or played around with my friends, but I don't have it myself. So sometimes you're just going to have to do your best and look at some best practices. Apple offers guidelines for the best practices around smartwatch design. So does Material or Google Design. So there are some resources that you guys can use. 400 have you guys ever lost 400 calories in an hour? Like I have, if I've done like an intense boxing class and a running class, and then I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm done for the day. I cannot do anything else. So in this screen here, what I'm creating is this ability to be able to just say, hey, watch. My watch is called Sono. Hey, Sono, can you call my nutritionist, call my therapist? I would love it if I could just FaceTime my nutritionist at any point and I could be like, oh my gosh, I want to eat this burger so bad. Can I? Should I? Wouldn't that be nice if someone was just there at all times to help you out? That's the idea here for my futuristic experience. And I am going to place in another circle, E, to create that circle, holding shift down to make a perfect circle. And I'm using this plugin in XD called Free Stock Search in order to find some free images. And I just searched woman, and I'm just going to place her in. Once I've placed her into that shape, I can also double click to move it to where I want it to be. I'm going to remove that border from the image, from the shape. And then I'm going to create another circle over this because I like that kind of outline. I'm going to get rid of the fill. If you recall, there's like this gradient outline. So I'm going to do this again. I'm going to make the border a 2, but remember to apply a gradient to a border. I need to first convert this shape or this border into an outline stroke. That way I can apply that gradient. Yay. And now my favorite part of this UI. Ooh, I just learned this myself last week. This glow. I'm so excited to show you because it's so easy. I was like, that looks hard, but it's not. It's not at all. So I'm going to make another E for circle. Get rid of that border. I'm going to apply this red. And then I am going to apply this close shape on top. Again, for those of you who are new to icons, you can get all of these icons for free. There's free UI kits, there's plugins for this. And I'm going to then make these two layers, take these two layers, just grabbing them both, and I'm going to right click and I'm going to make it a group so that they're kind of stuck together. I can move them around as a pair, as a team. But then I want to make that glow, right? That glow. So from there, I am going to select this shape, just the circle, copy it and paste it. So now I have this circle here. And what I'm going to do is on the right-hand side in my property inspector, where I'm able to make all the edits to my shape, I am going to change this from background blur to object blur. And then I am going to place this behind, or I'm going to place this in front. Oh, we got the glow, we got the glow. All right, now before we did the designs, and now before we end things, I want to, of course, show you how to do the voice command. So from design mode, I'm going to move over into prototyping mode. Now I'm able to create that prototype so that when I say to my watch, view burned calories, it's going to move into that next screen. So I've selected the whole artboard. It's blue enabled. There's a blue arrow, and basically it's like, where do you want to go? And I'm going to drag that arrow over to this artboard. On the right-hand side over here in this menu is where I can make those changes to the trigger, like what is it a voice command? Is it a tap? Is it a drag? So this is going to be a voice command. You can put in any command you want here. I'm just gonna put view burned calories. Right, so when I say view burned calories, it's gonna go to this screen. I can choose the animation type, whether it's like a basic transition. This is all you really need to do initially in these beginning stages. You can have it slide left or right a little bit. And then I'm ready to play it. Let's see if this works. So I'm going to hold spacebar. This is the most important thing. You need to make sure you hit spacebar when you do the talk or when you speak. So I'm going to hit spacebar. View burned calories. Why? View burned calories. It's just not working for me today. My streaming equipment, it's just not allowing the microphone. But believe you me, it does work. When you do it on your computer, it's gonna work fine. So that's just how it works. And you can just do the same thing over and over. From this one, you're gonna take the little blue arrow, drag it over. It's gonna remember my previous settings, the voice trigger. It's going to remember transition type, if it's going to slide left, etc. So you want to think about just what is the command. And then this could be, view consumed calories. The other thing that's cool about this is if you're on this screen and maybe you want it so that when you say one thing, it goes to this screen. But when you say something else, it goes to this screen. And you can do that. There's a little plus button here, and when I drag it over into this artboard, I can say view consumed calories. So in that way, you can actually have it branch off to different screens depending on what you say. All right. Oh, I just answered Richard's question. Yay. Yeah, you can also have more than one trigger, whether it's a voice command. It could also be a tap or drag. I can also select this and have this go to this screen as well with a simple tap. So you can actually have a ton of different interactions, not just the one. Cool. Feeling good? Feeling great? Feeling ready? When you're ready to export this, you can just select your artboards here. You can file export as an image if you want, export selected as images. If you want to export it as a link, you can select this, click the little share button that pops up. This only works when you're in design mode, by the way, not when you're in prototype mode. And then from there, you can share that link out. All right. That's it. That's all the things, guys. I hope you had a fun time with me. I can't wait to see your guys' designs, and I hope that the command works for you. It's definitely going to. I'm sorry I couldn't show it in real life, but you guys will do it. I'm excited to see it all